Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to leave all praise, honor, and glory to my prayer, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who were well and teach well, being great example to us young brothers. Peace and blessings to our full elect, Lord willing to be a part of that number. I'm the Vertical Dar from the GMS branch of Chicago, coming back with another video. This video is going to be entitled, This Truth Makes Us a Target. Be wise. Okay, and what inspired this lesson is a situation, not a teacher, but he is a believer, okay, and this guy has, is, I wouldn't say famous, but definitely wouldn't say famous, but he's known, in the craft that he does, and people knows that he's an Israelite, but he put it out there, and now that me and a brother seeing that he has suffering a bit of persecution, and that's just the territory that comes with this truth, but you can also make it worse for yourself by just proclaiming what you are to everyone, instead of using discretion. Okay, so that's what I wanted to go into, not being so open with these people, man. You can learn to be cordial with these people, learn to have a regular quote unquote conversation, learn to be cordial, learn to be cool with them, but to an extent, it's always to an extent. Okay, because you might have I'm just throwing an example, you might have a job where it's predominantly Edomites, and predominantly heathens. You got a few Jake up in there, obviously, Jake go be with Jake, but at the same time you have to be cordial, at the same time, even though these guys are cooler, so to say, you have a better interactions with the Jakes. At the end of the day, you still cool with them to an extent, if you understand the point that I'm trying to bring out, and even with the heathens and the rest of everyone in there, man, that's not the truth. Hey, you have to be cool with them to a certain extent. Scripture say, if possible, be at peace with all men, if possible. If possible. So yeah, man, hey, we have to learn to use discretion, because these people know what we do. We have to be in the Clark Kent mode. If we're not in camp, there's no reason to put on the cape, and show the world that we're Superman. What the elders in Dallas say, just put the fries in the bag. Trying to be over deep, just keep it simple. You're John Doe at the job. You're John Doe. At camp you can be I'm just a random Hebrew name. Let me see. Itazawam Gabar. Mighty warrior. But just throwing that example out there, man. Just be in Clark Kent mode. Okay? Hey, because these people know what we do. I'm in the corporate world, in the sports world, so to say, what I work for. But a VP, a vice president of a certain position, he's hinted, he hasn't flat out said it, that he's seen me on the line, or but he's hinted at it, and I caught it through the spirit. So these people know what we do, and he's an Edomite. He's very close to the owner of this company that I work for. He's a Kabbalist, he an Amalekite. I'm talking about this. This guy's a billionaire, man. So we have to use wisdom. Don't just put yourself out there. Why? We already gonna be persecuted, lied on. So why make it easier for them? Why even make it easier? Let me read this Proverbs 2:11. It says, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. Okay? And you have to go into that word for discretion, man. Let's read this definition for discretion. Okay, it says the quality of behaving or speaking in such a way as to avoid causing offense or revealing private information. So you don't have to reveal private information. You don't have to cause offense. You know? Hey, the scripture says to be wise as serpent and harmless as doves. I'm going to grab that too. All right? Because dealing with these people, it's an excellent test, you know, of how you can apply the scriptures. That's what it's for, man. You know, I wake up every day like, okay, what challenge the Lord going to throw in my face today? You know, I got to use wisdom today. You know, what am I gonna and what's gonna go on in my life today? You know, just to challenge ourselves, man. Dealing with these people is a good opportunity to practice wisdom, man. You know, to apply these words. You know, because the scripture says, "Be doers of the words and not hearers only." Okay, so we can't be hypocrites, man. All right. So yeah, we have to use that discretion. Okay, this is Matthew 10 verse 16. I said I was going to grab it. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." You know, a serpent is very subtle, very wise. You know, it even describes Esau in the garden as very subtle. You know, because that's his spirit. He's very cunning. You know, but the animal, the beast, a serpent, is also the same way. Okay, so we have to be like that, man. You know how I say this, like strategic alliances, quote unquote, so to say. You know, like at my job, you know, in corporate, you know, that shit is Game of Thrones, man. You know, so I know if I'm on my P's and Q's, you know, and if it's certain people that like my spirit, you know, then if some come against me, you know, they can have my back, and I've seen it. You know, so it's wise to do things like that, man, because you don't want to just go around unnecessarily cutting ties with everybody, man. You know, if that's the right word for that, or just getting into it with everybody, man. All right, scripture says, instead of a friend, become not an enemy. You know, so just keep it cordial with these people. Be wise. You know, use wisdom. You know, practice wisdom. All right, this is let me grab this Matthew 5, and I'm gonna keep it on deck. Okay, I'm gonna keep it on deck. 1 second. Start at verse 10. Okay, this Isaiah 59 verse 15. Yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. Hey, so we're prey in the eyes of these people, man. Demons hop on them left and right. Hey, if they not in the truth, all right, hey, they an agent of Satan, man. You know, Satan can obviously hop on them easily, in and out. So we have to use wisdom. You know, and Satan uses these people to get at us, man, to try us. You know, so it says, and the Lord saw it, and it displeased of him, and there was no judgment. Okay, so we have to apply this wisdom, man. You know, knowing that we're prey. You know, that's why the Lord said in this Matthew 10 verse 16, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep." So we're the sheep in the midst of wolves. Who's in the woods? Everybody else. You know, these people don't live after the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai. They hate the Lord, man. All right, even if they don't say it verbally, their actions show it. They hate Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Hey, it's not one person that's an anti-Hamashiach. It's billions of anti-Hamashiachs, man. Okay, if they ain't living according to this word, they are anti-Hamashiach. Okay, you wicked ass camps are anti-Hamashiachs, man. All right, these dudes don't worship Yahweh Shai, man. All right, the scripture saying, "Kiss the Son, lest he be angry." But you know, I'm not trying to be off topic. You know, hey, but off topic, on topic, man. Okay, so we have to use wisdom. You know, and when you make lessons like this, man, hey, the Lord tries you. You know, so you have to pray to be a doer of the word and not a hearer only. You know, so hey, that's why we have to be on our best behavior, you know, because we know the flock is following after our example, man. You know, see, when you know is people that follow you or look up to you, you know, you have to be a good example to the flock, man. Okay, that's very important. Hey, Yahweh Shai set us up as overseers, man. All right, this is Matthew 5 verse 10, Salakia. It says, "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Okay, Yahweh Shai went through it, and we have to go through it as well. All right, the scripture say, "If you suffer him, you shall also reign with him." So we're going through the trail that Yahweh Shai blazed. Yahweh Shai was the trailblazer. He showed us the way, and we're walking in it. Okay. It says, "Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake." Okay, so people gonna lie on you. People gonna revile you. They're gonna insult you. You know, people not gonna fuck with you, man. And it is a balance, because it is, you know, we're in the truth. It is some people, you know, that loves our spirit dearly, man. You know, you have friends of the prophets. You know, you have some people that keep their distance. You know, you have some people that just straight out don't like you. Straight up don't like you, man. You know, you got some people that keep their distance. You got some people that don't like you. Then you got some people that love you, man. You know, that is mesmerized by you because you got the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai on you, man. You know, so it says, "Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you." So, hey, we're in good company. We're in great company, man. Yahweh Shemel Shai is dealing with us, so we have to go through this. The prophets of there, that's the spirit. I just see it. I see a deer right there. Hope he ain't get hit or not. Sheep. But we're in great company, man. The prophets of the past were also persecuted. You know, so that shows you we're doing the work of the Lord, man. You know, but the whole point is, why make it easier? You know, for these people, man. Don't let them know what you got going on. You know, these people don't got to know your business. Hey, man, these people ask you what you're doing on the weekend, man. Lie to their ass. You know, you don't got to be, you know, hey, make some shit up. You know? So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemel Shai, B'Shem Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the full leg. Lord willing to be a part of that number. Shalom, Kwame Sharala, Wa Bababa.